Family reunions between separated families of South and North Korea began with a group meeting Tuesday. It was a tearful reunion for many. North Korea's reunion delegation chief said the North yearned for improvement in inter-Korean ties, while the South proposed confirming the survival status of all separated families. And the 600-year-old fortress wall of Seoul, destroyed by the colonial Japanese government, will be restored with plans to apply for World Heritage listing next year. Hello and welcome to News Today on KBS World. It's Wednesday, October 21st. I'm Luke Clary. Family reunions between separated families of South and North Korea have resumed for the first time in 20 months. The three-day event at North Korea's Mount Kumgang resort began with a group meeting Tuesday. It was a tearful reunion for many who have waited for 6 decades to be reunited with their kin.
They've been longing for a day like this. Time has turned a 3-year-old girl into an old woman in her 60s, and a sweet teenage sister into a silver-haired grandmother. The oldest participant from the North was at last reunited with his daughter and sister, but all he can do is weep. A 95-year-old man can't even hear his younger sister's voice, but he can still speak with his heart as he looks at an old black and white photo. These 4 siblings, including a sister in a wheelchair and the youngest brother, are finally gathered at one place. Decades of longing turn into tears and fall on the tightly clasped hands. The yellowed family photos tell how unbearably long the separation has been. 389 separated family members from the South and 141 from the North have reconnected the 60-year gap through the 2 rounds of meetings on the first day of the reunions.
After a heart-moving group reunion, the separated families also received a welcome dinner. The chief of the North Korean delegation said the North yearned for an improvement in inter-Korean ties, while the South Korean representative proposed that confirming the survival statuses of all separated families was a priority. Separated families from South and North Korea enjoyed a lively dinner organized by the South. In his toast, the head of the North Korean side, Red Cross chairman Lee Chung-bok, said that North Koreans yearn for an improvement in inter-Korean relations, national reconciliation, and unity, and congratulated the separated families on their reunions. Lee stressed that although the reunions were suspended due to strained inter-Korean ties, the 2 Koreas managed to resume them by reaching an agreement at the high-level talks back in August. The South Korean representative, Red Cross President Kim Sung-ju, said that the 2 Koreas should first confirm the survival status of all separated family members, so that family reunions can be held on a regular basis as soon as possible. Kim also proposed that all the participants hold hands and sing the Korean folk song, Arirang. The North Korean media reported that the separated family reunions had drawn the spotlight of the Korean nation and the entire world. The government has provided funds to the National Institute of Korean History to start developing a state-authored history textbook. While the development process is underway, the government is still having trouble finding a writing team.
The day after the government announced that it planned to publish a state-authored Korean history textbook, it held a closed vote at a cabinet meeting to earmark a budget of $3.9 million from a reserve fund to develop the new textbook. Out of that $3.9 million, $1.5 million have already been given to the National Institute of Korean History. The money is largely for the writer's labor cost. But trouble is brewing for the writing team. Education Minister Hwang Woo-yeol and National Institute of Korean History President Kim Jung-bae have both said the writing team will be comprised of more than 30 members. However, history professors have announced their refusal to participate in the project, as have most Korean historical societies, despite Minister Hwang's efforts to persuade the historians to take part.
각기 의견을 들었다는 구색을 갖추기 위한 형식적인 절차를 지금 만들어낸다는 생각이 들었다는 거죠. 그냥 거절을 했어요.
The new writing criteria for the state-mandated textbook will be disclosed soon after the National Institute of Korean History modifies the current criteria for state-approved history textbooks. But the government's plan to announce the writing team simultaneously with the public announcement appears to have gone awry.
South Korea's spy agency says that North Korea recently attempted to hack the presidential office and government agencies, and that the personal computers of several lawmakers were affected. Here's more.
The National Intelligence Service reported that early this month, North Korea attempted to hack the presidential office and the ministries of Foreign Affairs, National Defense, and Unification. The spy agency said it managed to intercept the hacking attempt in advance. Sources say that the National Assembly had also fallen victim to hacking, with data on the parliamentary inspection of government offices being leaked from the personal computers of several lawmakers. The NIS reported that it has been closely monitoring the North's Yongbyon nuclear reactor because Pyongyang is preparing for a nuclear test, but it added that the test was not imminent. The agency concluded that North Korea has failed to obtain the technology for manufacturing nuclear backpacks that were shown at the latest military parade. It also said that the North did not fire long-range missiles around the Workers' Party's anniversary on October 10th due to technological issues. The NIS brushed away speculations that Kim Jong-un had a tumor in the back of his neck.
Fine dust particles can cause respiratory and heart diseases. There's even a study that claims about 15,000 people in Seoul and surrounding areas alone die prematurely due to fine particulates. Here's how you can mitigate the damage of fine dust and protect your health.
This mountain is not that far away, but is obscured by haze. When outside, the throat becomes scratchy and the eyes itchy.
재채기하고 코 간지럽고 또 눈도 간지럽고 목도 엄청 텁텁하고 해서 괴로워요.
A fine dust particle is just 1/8 of the diameter of a human hair. The particles are so small that they can't be filtered out at the bronchial tubes and end up irritating respiratory organs. Fine dust can be especially dangerous at the change of seasons, like now, where it can worsen asthma or chronic bronchitis. Ultra-fine dust particulates, just 1/13 the diameter of a hair, can even penetrate capillaries and enter the bloodstream.
겉에 여러 가지 나쁜 화학물질들이 둘러싸고 있거든요. 그것들이 이제 혈관을 뚫고 들어가서 혈관도 수축하고 염증도 일으켜서 심혈관 질환의 위험성을 높이게 됩니다.
Fine dust particles are a factor contributing to lung cancer, for they are classified by the World Health Organization as a Group 1 carcinogen. Doctors advise that people should refrain from outdoor activities on days with high fine dust counts, maintain a 60% humidity level indoors, and drink a lot of water. Also, washing the face and hands thoroughly after an outing can reduce the risk of eye inflammation or dermatitis.
An exhibition showcasing the latest achievements of the energy sector has opened in Seoul, with more than 300 companies participating. Bending batteries and eco-friendly electric transformers are just a few examples of the latest breakthrough technologies.
When an LED light is connected to what looks like a wristwatch band, it begins to display text. This soft band that can be bent easily like a fabric is actually a high-capacity battery. Its development enabled researchers to overcome the limitations of existing batteries, which are unable to bend beyond the radius of curvature of the human wrist. This flexible battery can be designed in diverse ways for use in smartwatches, necklaces, and accessories.
플렉서블 배터리가 만들어졌다는 건 같이 이렇게 이제 새로운 분야로 이렇게 많이 활용이 될 거라고는 생각 못 했는데
This car can run 44 kilometers after its battery is charged for 3.5 hours.
배터리 시장은 현재 한국 업체들이 지금 세계 시장을 주도를 하고 있고요. 그래서 이런 기술력을 바탕으로 앞으로 향후 세계 시장을 리딩할 수 있을 걸로 생각을 하고 있습니다.
The Energy Plus exhibition, which incorporates the top 3 electric sector exhibitions, is expected to draw buyers from 34 countries and provide export consultations worth up to $7 billion in value.
The 600-year-old fortress wall of Seoul that was destroyed by the Japanese in the colonial days will be restored by the end of the year, with plans to apply for World Heritage listing early next year.
The fortress wall of Seoul has protected the capital city for over 600 years. The wall that continues along a slope is cut off in front of the Hungin Jimun Gate. The fortress wall was torn down in the year 1908 during the colonial period, as it was seen as a hindrance to the passage of the Japanese crown prince. A road was laid later on, and the fortress has remained cut off to this day. However, it will finally be restored after a century. The Seoul Metropolitan Government will survey photos and records to bring the fortress back to its original form. In certain sections where the fortress can't be fully connected due to existing roads, markers will be posted to indicate the fortress site. An image of the fortress as seen from the sky will also be printed on the ground. A stone plaque will also be laid with the inscription, Fortress Wall of Seoul.
상부에 육교를 설치하는 안도 이제 검토가 됐었는데요. 그 경우에는 문화재의 진정성을 훼손한다는 전문가들의 의견이 있었기 때문에
18 kilometers long, the fortress is the largest in size among existing fortress sites around the world. Seoul City will conclude the restoration by the year end and apply for UNESCO World Heritage designation in January.
Powerful vocalist Lee Seung-cheol will embark on a major global tour. He's visiting fans not only at home, but also in China, Canada, and Australia. Here's more in our Culture News segment.
Singer Lee Seung-cheol is soon to embark on a global tour titled The Best Live. Starting in Qingdao, China on November 14th, Lee will perform in Shanghai and then in Korean cities such as Ilsan, Busan, Gwangju, and Seoul. Next year, he will continue his tour in Canada and Australia. The first girl group showcased by JYP Entertainment in 5 years, Twice has released its debut album and begun formal activities. Its 9 members, all female, are from Korea, Japan, and Taiwan. The debut album includes 6 tracks, including the title song Like Oh Ah, which is a mix of hip-hop, R&B, and rock. Girl group EXID members Jeonghwa and Solji have taken to the catwalk. As PR ambassadors for the Fashion Code 2016 event, which kicked off Tuesday, the 2 singers ran the runway wearing styles designed by famed Korean designer Lee Sang-bong.
Violent crimes targeting women seem to have been on the rise. Today, we introduce various self-defense techniques that will help you protect yourself in an emergency. Violent crimes targeting women have been on the rise year after year. Many women don't feel safe outside their homes anymore. Some smartphone apps available these days are designed to help women protect themselves in times of emergency. All you have to do is set the designated number of your guardian or someone you know to use the app when you need help. 5 seconds after you press the app icon, An emergency message and an audio file will be transmitted to the designated contact. If you're attacked all of a sudden and there's no time to ask for help, first step back and bend your body at 90 degrees. Then strike the assailant's vital points. If you're attacked from the side, lower your body as much as you can and seize the moment to attack the assailant's waist with one of your arms as hard as you can. Here's what to do when you find yourself in an elevator with a stranger. Rather than trying to suppress the attacker, move in the same direction as him or her. Then raise your arms, and just when the door is about to open, move yourself to the right as hard as you can to escape.
팔힘만 갖고는 빠져나오기가 어렵습니다. 그렇기 때문에 전체 몸의 힘을 이용해서 상대방 팔을 뿌리치고 나올 수 있는 방법이 있습니다.
Using self-defense devices is also helpful. They include self-defense alarms that make loud sounds when you push the button. There are also self-defense sprays that look like cosmetic products. They contain hot and spicy substance capsaicin, which can leave the attacker short of breath for about 30 minutes when you spray it into his eyes and nose. But the most important thing is to maintain your calm no matter what.
지나친 저항은 오히려 범죄자의 감정을 자극해서 더 큰 폭력이 되돌아오게 할 수도 있었기 때문에 신중하게 가급적 저항은 하지만 설득하고 경찰관이 달려올 수 있는 시간을 벌어주는 그런 노력도 중요하다고 하겠습니다.
If you're always prepared for an emergency situation, your chances of protecting yourself vastly improve. And now we'll take a look at the markets, followed by the world weather. And that's it for this edition of News Today. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. Goodbye.